Everybody, it is me, the lovely Keisha D, and this is your random thought of the day. And first of all, temperature check. How is everyone? How is your week? I hope all of the great things that you were aspiring to do or hoping to do, or any of those great plans that you put together, I hope everything came to fruition and worked out the way that you wanted them to, because over here it's all positivity, right? I want all the good things to happen to you and only you. Well, me too. Anyway, so this week, right, has been an interesting week. First of all, one of my little walking petri dishes gave me norovirus, so I was down bad for like 3 days. Not as bad as it could have been, because I've heard it gets worse, but thank God I had a mildish version of it. It still wasn't pleasant, but at the very least I didn't feel like death warmed over. Just it wasn't a fun time, I'll say that. But beyond the sickness, so okay, right, so if you watched my last video, if you did, yay. If you didn't, okay, so if you've watched any of my videos, you know how hard it is for me to get up here and actually make these videos. I am consistently always saying about what I don't do, and I know when I turn my little camera on and get my little light on and fix my little microphone, that I'm competing with so many other content types that you could be watching. Like, I'm not a comedian, I'm not a fashionista, I'm not reviewing any movies or like doing anything that is like entertaining per se. I'm literally just here talking, telling you my story and offering encouragement, right? So on the grand scale of things, at least in my mind, it's not that interesting to some people, possibly, because there are other way more interesting things that you could be doing. So every time I get up and do it, for me, it's a win. But you know how the mind can be, right? And as my last video, as I said in that video, that I do suffer from imposter syndrome. So you all know again, if you've watched my past videos, or at least the very last video that I put out, that I've been on this journey of self-discovery and trying to find out what my purpose is, and asking God to please reveal to me what my individual purpose in life is supposed to be. But that I was thinking, like last time, that if he was to give me the desires of my heart, what would I actually do with it? Like, do I have what it takes to honestly see my dreams be realized? Do I have, like, if he was to hand me everything that I wanted on silver platter, it was like, okay, Keisha, here you go. Here goes that platform that you want, where you can gather all these like minds and get together and commune and build that community of positivity and basically show your light of what a Christian really is, so that you can bring people in, not so much as preaching them and throwing Bibles at their face all day, but to show them that you can live a really, really great life and be a Christian and live positively and just live a really nice, happy life, right? So if he was to give me all of that, would I actually have what it takes to sustain it? I've beat myself up a lot in my life of what I have and have not accomplished. And so my mind went out to play with that. And then, like, one particular thing that I decided to say in my video, brain said, hey, that was embarrassing. And you know what? I'm just going to play it over and over and over in your head so that you can relive that foolishness for perpetuity. Like, you're just going to live this. You're going to hear it. You're going to see it. Visuals. It was like a bad TikTok reel all week of my words thrown back into me in a cycle. And I was like, you know what, God, I can't. I can't. That's it. I was at that point of, this is embarrassing. I had already been feeling kind of bad about, like I said, the content that I make. I already think that what I make doesn't measure up to what other people do. I watch different types of content, and I'm like, my content doesn't measure up to what I actually watch. So I was already feeling away and not overly confident in what I've been putting out. So to have my brain decide at that one moment that I'm going to pick apart something that you put out to solidify the fact that, girl, give up and try something else. Oh, it was again, it was already sick, so I already wasn't in the best of spirits. And then for this to be constantly on a loop, it was, okay, I throw in the towel. I give not making any more videos. I'm going to scrub this from anyone's existence and hope no one remembers that I did anything of this sort. I'm going to close out the page, delete all the videos. We just going to pretend like this was a fever dream. None of this ever happened. And that was it. Like, literally up until maybe yesterday, even today, that was where my mind was. I was over it. I did not want to do this anymore. This was supposed to be fun. And while there was still a level of entertainment for me, it just wasn't, it didn't feel good at that time with what my brain was telling me that I should and shouldn't be doing, right? But here's the thing. I can't say my whole life, but as far back as I can remember, something clicked at some point, and I've never finished or saw anything through. I tell people a lot, I am a jack of all trades, but I never finish the statement. You know, it's jack of all trades, master of none. I don't tack that part on the end of it because that part is embarrassing for me. Because it's me literally telling you that though I know some things about a lot of things, I don't know a lot about any one particular thing, because there has been nothing that I have dedicated enough time, effort, and attention to master. I either get bored, or because I'm a microwave and if results don't come immediately, I'm no longer interested. I don't want to do this anymore because it's not coming easy. Or I just stop because I'm fickle like that. Like, I don't know. There are some things that I can be really, really interested in, and it's like, oh no, this is becoming too much of a thing. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I just don't. And I never articulate that. It's not something that I verbally acknowledge. It's just something that, okay, well, I just don't do it. Case in point. So, like, again, if you watched my last video, you know that I was on a social media fast last week. But I was not just refraining from logging into Facebook or Instagram, which is really the only two that I actually participate in. But I wasn't just not looking at those. I was also working hard on my relationship with God, because the whole point of me fasting from social media was because I felt like I was wasting too much time on frivolous, trivial things. It's not even that I do anything on it for real. It's just that the time that I felt like I was spending mindlessly scrolling down social media, I could have been putting towards something more constructive, working toward my goals. So I put that down so that I could hear him better, so I can make a better effort of getting more in touch with him. I get up pretty early in the morning to go to work because in Keisha's brain, the earlier I start, the earlier I can get off, the more of my day I still have. So I was getting up at 4ish in the morning, and I'm getting up in the morning enough time. I work from home, so it's not like I have to get up and do things and drive nowhere. No. So I was getting up early enough so that I could read my Bible, do my devotional, and have enough time to actually have a conversation with God. And it was going great for me. I was feeling like I was getting more in tune and in touch with his voice. And I felt like he was actually talking to me, and I could hear him for like the first time in my life. I was not questioning, God, is this you actually talking to me, or is this my voice in my own head? So that was wonderful. All last week I was doing great until my fast was over. And then the same things that I have always done with everything else in my life, I did to God too. It wasn't that I got bored with him or anything. It was just one of those things where, oh no, this is becoming way too consistent, and let's just not do the thing anymore. So it's not like I stopped completely. I was still reading my Bible, listening to my Bible podcast, still getting into the word. But this week I have not been consistently talking to him as I was last week, and that was embarrassing to me. That embarrasses me. I am ashamed to say that the same treatment that I have given to literally most other things in my life that were not required of me, I gave the same treatment to God, and that's where I had to take a pause. This video initially was supposed to be about embarrassment and how even through your embarrassing times that you persevere. For me, today, honestly, was my revelation that I don't persevere through anything that I don't absolutely have to do. The only things that I have completed was high school. Why? Because I had to. I didn't have a choice. At least was always what was, planted in my head by my parents. You graduate from high school. All bets were off after that, but I had to graduate high school, so I did. But I've literally quit everything else. I quit college several times. Every job that I've ever had, I have never been fired. You know what I do? I quit. I quit when I get bored of it. I quit when I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. I quit. Or I quit when something gets uncomfortable. I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like being in that space and time where I don't feel like I have a firm grasp on things. And so I quit. So honestly, yes, at this point, if God was to give me the desires of my heart today, I would drop the bag. I would fumble it. It would end up so far away from me, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Why? Because I haven't been consistent with anything, and I think that's what God wanted me to see. I literally got the revelation right before I decided to make this video, because like I said, I wasn't doing this no more. This wasn't happening. This was too much. Much like I do everything else. The last time I remember persevering through an embarrassing moment, I was 6. And mind you, 6-year-old Keisha is so far removed from 38-year-old Keisha, 38-and-a-half-year-old Keisha. I'll be 39 this year, God willing. 6-year-old Keisha was a ball of confidence. I don't know what happened to her. And it was a little bit after the age of 6 is when I remember the change happening. But before then, I was a dynamo. I was smart and I knew it. I would always get the long speeches at church because they knew, and I was young, like little. They knew I was going to remember that speech and I wasn't going to mess up a word. I would get the good parts in the play. And this particular memory that I have, and why this stuck out to me, I don't know. You know how your mind is. It just keeps certain things in weird recesses of your brain, and it comes out at weird times. Today was one of those days, and I was like, oh. So again, I was 6, and I was in our Christmas play. I had got the part of the angel. We were doing a Christmas story, of course, but like the story of the birth of Jesus. And I was the little angel, and I had my cute little white outfit on with my little halo. I was adorable. Yes. Okay. Anyway, but so I'm on the stage, right? And memories are fuzzy. I remember me very vividly and what happened, but I don't recall exactly what was on the stage with me. But I do believe it was set up like the nativity scene, because I was singing. I was the angel that was singing. So I believe there was Joseph, Mary, and baby, and some shepherds or something. I don't remember, but other people were on the stage with me. So I'm singing my little song, and I'm thinking I'm doing great. I am projecting like they always taught me. You got to sing to the back of the auditorium. So I'm just singing my little 6-year-old tiny body out, all heart and soul, putting my all into this. I think I'm doing great. And then all of a sudden, the crowd starts laughing like profusely. Again, I'm 6. So I'm crestfallen. I don't know what's going on. Why are these people laughing at me? I am instantly embarrassed. Confidence is shook. I don't know what's going on. Why are they laughing at me? I didn't mess up a note. I had missed a word. Like, I'm thinking I'm doing amazing. Everybody seemed to be loving it. And then all of a sudden they're laughing. But I pushed through the embarrassment. I pushed through the embarrassment at that time because that's what was required of me. That's what I was supposed to do. So I sung the rest of that song with all my little might. And come to find out, it was one of the other people on stage. I think it was one of the shepherds or something had done something funny. And so everybody was laughing at them. They wasn't even laughing at me. But that's the last time I could remember where I was in a moment and I was embarrassed for whatever reason, whether it was warranted or not, and I pushed through and persevered, or that I was uncomfortable, not even embarrassed per se. That was the last time that I was in an uncomfortable position where I didn't have to continue, but I did. After that, I don't have anything for you. I've made a series of decisions beyond that point where I was in uncomfortable situations where I had to make uncomfortable decisions, where I either just didn't make a decision at all and just let the cards fall where they may, and it just was what it was, or I made a bad decision and completely just ran away from the issue whatsoever. I don't do well with uncomfortable. And if you're anything like me, and you might be, I understand you. This is the point of this video. But being uncomfortable is not a good enough reason to not keep going, to not keep pushing through. So this video for me is more so for me than it is for anyone. This was my confirmation that it doesn't matter at this point, Keisha, whether it can be these videos, or it can be your job, or it can be the needle point that you picked up and put down and made excuses for not continuing. You need to stick to something. Who is going to entrust you with something big if you can't show that you can be trusted with small things? I don't know if this message is for someone more than me. I know definitely it's for me. That even when things are uncomfortable, you need to keep going. Keep pushing through. There's a difference between stopping because something is no longer serving you or is no longer aligned with your purpose, and stopping because you just don't feel good about it. I just don't like it. I'm uncomfortable. And I don't have a real reason as to why I'm uncomfortable. I just don't want to do it anymore because it's making me do more than I want to do. That's not good enough. The only things that I've persevered and pushed through and finished and like done was high school and raising my kids, because I don't have a choice. In my mind, that was a hard stop there. I don't have a choice but to raise my children. There's no one else to do it. But those are the only things that I've done. I can't even say that I've done well, but I've done and I'm doing. But there has not been anything outside of that I had a choice in the matter, where I kept going for the sake of either the experience or to at least prove that I have what it takes to succeed in whatever the success looks like. I don't know if this is going to turn into something big. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm not going to sit here and talk about, oh, y'all not watching my videos and oh, my views are down or just horrible. And no longer will any of my videos entail any of that type of language, because it's not about that anymore. I don't know where this is going to go, but I do know that this is me saying, hey God, I can stick out something that I said I wanted to do. Why would he entrust me with a large platform? Why would he entrust me with a successful podcast if I can't even consistently do this small task? If I can't consistently seek him and talk to him on a daily basis and touch base with him on a daily basis, why would he give me anything? What do I deserve? What have I earned? What have I done other than succeed at giving up? I am here to say that it's no longer okay for you to give up on yourself. It is no longer okay for you to only think that the things that you need to see through are required things. Like, I keep a job because I'm supposed to work, but I don't keep a job. Like I said, I will leave a job in a second. I don't need a good enough reason. My good enough reason is that I just don't like this anymore. So I'm going to do something else. So while I've accumulated a bunch of different skills here and there, I'm not great at anything. I can say that. I'm great at giving up. I'm great at throwing in the towel. I'm great at bemoaning my situation in life as if I haven't contributed to it. Now, like I said in all of my videos, this is about my own self-discovery and my journey, and I'm just sharing it with you all. And as I learn things, I'm sharing it with you, because I don't know who may be going through the same thing as me, or if I can help someone, I can head someone off at the pass before they even have to deal with any of these things. If I can do that, I'm happy. Mission accomplished. I can leave this world happy. So that's my advice to you all today, and myself first. Keep going. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's not going to pay off in whatever way that's supposed to pay off. If this is only for the experience, I won. I'm going to keep researching things. I'm going to keep learning about lighting. I'm going to keep getting the materials that I need. I'm going to keep watching other material to see how I can fine tune mine. I'm going to keep working at my craft. I can't say I want to be a public speaker and don't publicly speak. So that's all I have, y'all. I wrote down my little thingies on my notebook. notebook. And again, my camera's over here and it's not attached to my computer. So I hope I've been looking at the camera this whole time. Can't really tell. We won't know until we play back. This was longer than I meant to be. I was trying to keep it down to 15 minutes because I do understand not everybody wants to watch long content of me just talking. But I apologize. Going forward, these videos will be shorter. I won't be putting out any more long form content until I am ready to start my next level. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Join me on this journey of self-discovery. Hopefully you can do yours too, and we can learn and grow together. As always, be kind to you, please. The world is so harsh. If no one else is going to be kind to you, be kind to you. You be kind to you. Give yourself a whole bunch of grace. Like so much. There's no manual to life. We all just trying to figure it out before we go. And then I want you all to be kind to someone else, because that's the only way we all make it. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Deuces.